Ladies, before we begin, I want to speak to you from the heart. If you are here listening to this, it means something inside you is searching for clarity, strength, and truth. And I want you to know, you are not alone. Every woman at some point in her life questions a man's honesty, not because she is insecure, but because her intuition is powerful. Your inner voice has been trying to protect you long before you knew what red flags even were. That is why Pure Her exists. A place where women come to understand relationships, protect their emotional energy, and rise into their full feminine power. So before we begin, take a moment, breathe, and if you want more videos that help you navigate men, love, boundaries, and self-worth, subscribe to Pure Her. Your support helps this community grow and allows me to bring you deeper, more honest conversations like this one. Now, let's talk about something difficult but important. The signs a man might be cheating. Cheating rarely starts with obvious evidence. It almost never begins with a message you find or a picture you stumble upon. It begins with a shift, a tension you can't name, a distance you feel but cannot explain, a change in energy that only a woman's heart can detect. Most women feel the truth long before they see the truth, because intuition is not imagination. It's emotional intelligence. It's pattern recognition. It's your subconscious protecting you from something your mind hasn't processed yet. This video isn't meant to create fear or paranoia. This is meant to give you clarity, because clarity gives you power. A woman who sees clearly makes better choices, stands taller, and loves herself harder. So, let's go deeper. Here are the extended signs that a man might be cheating, explained with more detail, more emotional nuance, and more real-life examples. 1. His communication rhythm changes in subtle but noticeable ways. Men are creatures of habit. When they care, their communication is stable. But when they start hiding something, their rhythm changes. It may not be dramatic. It may not be loud. But you'll feel it. Suddenly he replies slower. He stops sending good morning or good night messages. He becomes inconsistent with tone, warm one day, distant the next. He says, "I'm just tired." But you can hear the emotional coldness behind his words. You sense his attention is elsewhere, even if he denies it. Communication isn't just about messages. It's about effort. When that effort drops, something else usually rises. 2. He becomes excessively protective over his phone. A cheating man treats his phone like a bomb that might explode at any moment. He keeps it face down. He jumps when a notification pops up. He starts locking conversations or deleting message histories. He takes his phone into the bathroom, the kitchen, even the balcony. He suddenly needs privacy, a word loyal men rarely overuse. It's not about checking his phone. It's about noticing how his entire body reacts to it. A loyal man doesn't flinch around his own device. A guilty man does. 3. Emotional distance creeps in slowly. Women can survive distance in words, but never distance in soul. A cheating man slowly becomes emotionally unavailable. You feel it in the way he listens, in the way he touches you without real presence, in how he stops asking about your feelings or dreams. His body might be close, but his heart is not. You start feeling lonely next to someone who once made you feel chosen. That emotional emptiness is one of the strongest indicators that something deeper is happening. 4. He starts projecting his guilt onto you. A man who cheats often carries silent guilt, and instead of facing it, he projects it. He accuses you of lying. He questions your loyalty. He becomes paranoid about things you've never done. He starts arguments out of nowhere, as if trying to justify something internally. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism. It means, I'm doing something wrong, so I assume you are too. When a man begins creating stories about you with no basis, it is often because he is hiding a story of his own. 5. He becomes strangely charming, overly affectionate, or extremely thoughtful. Not all cheaters become cold. Some become sweeter. They bring gifts. They give compliments they've never given before. They suddenly want to take you out or act more romantic. It feels nice, but also off. Like he is performing a role. Like he's trying to cover a shadow with flowers. Guilt makes some men overcompensate. Love feels natural. Guilt feels dramatic. 6. His schedule becomes chaotic, inconsistent, or overly detailed. A cheating man's life becomes a puzzle with missing pieces. He tells you stories that don't line up. He gives too much detail about things that don't matter, a sign of rehearsed lies. Or he gives too little detail, a sign of secrecy. Suddenly he has new meetings, new events, new friends you've never heard of, new work emergencies, new reasons to be unavailable. A loyal man is transparent. A cheating man is unpredictable. 7. Intimacy changes, either too much or not enough. Cheating affects physical connection in two possible ways. He pulls away because he feels disconnected or guilty. Or he becomes more intense because he's overcompensating or influenced by new excitement elsewhere. Both extremes can reveal emotional conflict. A stable relationship has a stable rhythm. Drama changes rhythm. 8. He stops discussing the future. A man who sees you in his future talks about it freely. Plans feel natural. Commitments feel exciting. But when he is emotionally investing somewhere else, future talk fades. He avoids planning trips. He avoids conversations about moving in, marriage, or long-term goals. He becomes vague, dismissive, distant. His mind is no longer building with you. 9. He becomes irritated by things that never bothered him before. When a man is cheating, he subconsciously rewrites the relationship in his mind. He needs to justify his actions. So he starts seeing you through a distorted lens. He complains more. He criticizes small things. He nitpicks your tone, clothes, or habits. Not because you changed, but because he needs emotional distance to sustain his secret. A cheating man chooses conflict to hide guilt. A loyal man chooses connection to fix problems. Why these signs matter? Because your heart deserves a man who makes you feel safe, not suspicious. Your time deserves honesty, not half-truths. Your energy deserves reciprocity, not emotional starvation. A man's disloyalty does not diminish your beauty, value, or femininity. It exposes his lack of character, maturity, and emotional discipline. You don't need to beg for clarity. You don't need to fight for the truth. You don't need to wait for proof. If a man's behavior makes your heart feel unsafe, that feeling alone is a sign. Your peace is your evidence. Your emotional safety is your standard. You are not asking for too much. You are asking the wrong man. The right man will never make you fight for the bare minimum. He will never punish you for trusting your intuition. He will never gamble with your heart. Final words, ladies. If this message reached your heart, if it made you feel seen, understood, or stronger, then subscribe to Pure Her. This channel is here to guide you, to remind you of your worth, and to help you rise higher in every chapter of your life. You are powerful. You are worthy. And you deserve the kind of love that does not require explanations, excuses, or pain.